funky music. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to VR Master League in Season 2. This is Week 5, the final day of Week 5 at that. And here in Week 5, we got ourselves the Hive. That's right, the Hive facing off against Lunar. And starting real soon. Even sooner, hopefully. As we just await the arrival of one more player, and there we go. So, teams have already been pinged. And we're going to get ready to go here. Have a doubleheader on this particular stream, starting off with the Hive and Lunar getting their first stream for both teams. And happy to do it, of course, in our league full of many players, many teams, over 1,000 players and over 170 teams, streaming all that we can, and then knocking them out of the park one by one with all our casting crew. So over to the Twitch chat, hello to you. Good to see you guys. I'm sure some of you may be joining up earlier on for those venues events, Oculus venues. Those were some fun matches in the afternoon. But of course, as is the case with VRML, the matches go on forever and ever, 24/7 basically. And we're always here to cast as many as we can. So thumbs up going out from Durka and, oh, hold on.
From the Hive, I'm Bohemian Buff, and I'm here with my friends. And we're playing our second qualifying match for this tournament called VR. Let's do this with VR Echo, and I'm here with True, Derek, Durka, and Trillis.
I'm assuming you guys can hear that. It's a little bit quiet, but the Hive introducing themselves over to their viewers, I do suppose. So good to have them. And now with that said, we're gonna go to the first round start here. Ready to begin. So for everyone joining once again, appreciate y'all. I'll mute the comms now just to keep them all clean and whatnot. And I also may have accidentally refreshed my Twitch chat, so I can't even say hi to the people I intended to say hi to. So I'm just going to say a big, broad hello to everyone in the Twitch chat. I'm Palidore here on the casting end of things, doing the camera work as well for you guys, as the first joust is going to result in the first goal for poker champ Dylan, that is to say, and Lunar claiming themselves the score right quick. And unfortunately for them, also dropping out one player all of a sudden, just the first joust. So let's see if a restart happens or not. I mean, it didn't result in anything too bad for them on that play. Got the points. Jante, Hada, Heda, Takeda, Sakeda. What's going on, my player? As Dark gets stunned, or Durka rather, gets stunned by Frenzy. Frenzy taking it away. Yes, I'm camming, doing all of the above. As the Hive here try to collect that disc with one player in the goal. And of course, shout out as well to anyone joining in from the Hive. See that it's a gaming community there across multiple games, and good to see again just the outreach of many different demographics in VR coming in here, and in Echo as well. A beauty of VRML, beauty of the competition, is that it's conducive to everyone, anyone, all of the above. So as it's taken down here by Dylan, Dylan going up high on that pass, just going to miss the hands of their teammate here for Lunar. So instead, taken out by True Majesty. The truly majestic save as the soft clear goes into the mid lane. Going to be taken out here. And Frenzy now getting stunned at the bottom. See Gunnerboo in there, and Sayotos as well as Schlart and Pyro Games UK. Thanks for joining us today. Of course, on the stun, Frenzy trying to go for another one, unable to convert on that. So still down a player, but not paying for it too badly quite yet. And again, for those joining, we do have Ignite following up here after this match with, hold on, one more goal attempt. And it's going to be taken out here up high by Bohemian Buff. So as that clear goes out here, finding itself on the blue side of the floor for the first time in a bit, it's going to go into the way of eventually Trillis, but then losing it here. Not very chill, but it still will go here into the orange bubble where there's a backliner awaiting. It's True Majesty retaining the disc. But yes, just to keep you guys in the loop as well. We got a Redshift and Ignite playing on this stream a little bit later. We got Anomaly and Illuminati. Right now, on the spot, it's Trillis with a clear into the midfield. Following that, we also have Fierce Kittens and Riot. So a good smattering of matches. As the bounce just bounces right to the nest and back into the outer edge of the bubble. Now, maybe a chance on offense here, being grabbed, but losing it out and grabbed right back, but slung right into the hands of Stepdad. Trying to get the step ladder to reach that defense now, and Poker. Dylan will get the clear, partially anyway. Some nice defense from Lunar. The Hive, though, still maintaining control and looking to cause a little bit of trouble here. Indeed, they're swarming it just like bees, and at the moment, it's going to be a snag out there from Frenzy, leaving the bees in a frenzy as the Hive tries to recollect their stacks. Meanwhile, Lunar just going to press up through this tunnel. Still a deep backliner here inside the goal. That's true majesty, as you can see, and a pass off, just missing the hands initially there of Dylan, but maybe able to recollect off the wall. We'll see. There it is. So Dylan coming through, trying to dodge through the defense. A good pass up high to Frenzy. Now Frenzy diving in, dunking in with some authority behind that one, and it's the 4 points for Lunar. And Lunar making the clips. Get it? But yeah, a lot of matches today. Those venues ones earlier on, we had 4 of them. Some impressive stuff. We saw that Instinct match, and oh, there we go. There's our restart. So apparently now the team's maybe going to get their players back for Lunar, that is to say. And just as I say that, well, there they are. Crim VR, that is to say, back in the game. So timeout initiated. I can't imagine it will be too long, although hopefully the team's got the scores and the times there all checked up. Probably go check it out on my end just in case. So one moment, bear with me, just checking on it. It was 4 points for Lunar. That last score occurred at 6 minutes in, so see if I can get that over to them real quick here. All right, well, I've done my duty. There they go. Message them in the Discord just in case they might have needed the times. But yes, the first round still being played here. On to Twitch chat again. Thunder is saying I only watch Redshift games to watch Zuck's self-goal. Well, hey, you know what? First of all, rude. Second of all, we all do it, you know? We all do it. In fact, we saw some earlier today in venues. It happens. I've done it. Certainly my teammates in the past have done it. Never feels good when it happens, though, does it? In any case, trying to get back in place here with this match, hopefully pretty soon. We've got the players all back in. I know for the Hive, they have a 5th rostered member that we may or may not see for round 2. Not entirely sure quite yet, but you see the teams here, I think, just organizing themselves and trying to set the times and the scores. And just trying to communicate that. So, yeah, then back to the venues event as well. We had that awesome match as well between Barrage and Toxin, 2 of our newer teams to the league and newer teams to Echo Arena overall, but still showing up. You know, quite the match. Had an overtime thrown in there, and it did end in the 2 rounds, and kind of regrettably because you always want to cheer for the 3, but some good ones there. As we do make our way back to the first round. Now the disc is set in the midline, which isn't exactly the proper place, although sometimes you see the teams kind of accommodate that by just letting them grab and going based off that. Of course, as always, timeout button one day, maybe, would be super handy for it, but at the moment we're just going to roll with what we have, and that said, the Hive is going to grab the disc, so the player's kind of accommodating for themselves, and that always works out. It's kind of the old style that we used to do things before we had the ability to change where the disc actually spawned. Once upon a time. Fun facts. So Bohemian Buff is going to be Bohemian stuffed with that very tough punch as it goes into the midfield. Trying to get back on the defensive end, though. And get that at the bottom pocket. There's Dirk with the throw, but Dylan will intercept that one. Now he's going to send that over to the goalie. He's going to bounce off the pole and right back out into the nest area as it's taken here by Frenzy. Frenzy! Oh, the angry shot. And that's 7 points here for Lunar. Couldn't come any sooner. That was a great hit there. Schlart there saying excited for Fierce Kittens versus Riot as well. Yeah, going to be a fun game. That's going to be the last match of the night at 7 PDT, 10 p.m. EDT. As the Joust comes out here with about 3:45 left in round 1. Gunnar Boone there, hopping by as well. Welcome to the stream. Saying did an anchor shot to our goalie as a back pass. And those anchors always a bit risky, aren't they? But definitely useful for the speed. At the moment, Crim VR looking for that shot right on the goal. Going head-to-head and converting with the 9th point, favoring Lunar. Guess what, chat? I also just somehow refreshed my Twitch chat again. I don't know how I keep doing that. Shame on me. Maybe it's telling me something. Maybe I don't want to see what you're saying. Make me nervous. Over here, though, 9 points for Lunar as the Hive do launch out and try and collect the disc. Coming out of the tubes there and slinging it to the side tunnel. And flying on through. So Dylan coming away with a grab and trying to dish it out to the midfield there, bouncing off that double diamond. And up to the Cloud. Now Frenzy has been having a pretty good game so far, looking to do much more of the same, but look at the save! And that was great from Majesty, truly. Got it to at least the side wedge, and now finally collected by Trillis. And Trillis is going to send that right on through. And now maybe if they can get this boost, a nice set of grabs there coming in from the Hive. As Dirk goes for the clear, or the throw, but just clear out of the goal, I should say. And 2:16 left, there's still some time, but not a lot of it. Definitely if they can get some scores going, no matter if it's in the context of a win or not, that'll be definitely good for the mentality. As a Frenzy takes it away, and they're looking for maybe the double-digit advantage if they can score again here, but will be lost off and taken back here by Trill. So Trillis, the good mid-lane defense and positioning, seeing a lot of these discs kind of getting caught first by Trill. And now a random 5th player has joined as chaos suddenly unfolds on the stream for some reason. 140 left, though. Friendly reminder to all teams. Never more than 4 players allowed in the match at any given time. That said, I'm casting, not moderating, so I'm going to deal with it. As Crim VR takes it away and sends it to Frenzy. Now Frenzy up high on the top trench is going to throw it on over to the catcher, the receiver here. It's poker champ Dylan. Dylan goes in for a pass. Going to bounce right back to him and then back out again. So as that does get sent here to Crim, Crim's going to take the shot. But a little bit grim as it's taken one more time off the barrier, getting lost quite a bit. And now up high is Bohemian Buff. So as they send that through to the opposite end of the floor, it's going to go and hit the tunnel. And a few players piling up here, unable to get the grab. So as it goes into the bottom of the ramp, going to be taken out here. And grabbed now by Crim. So as it goes back and forth, 9 points on the board for Lunar. Not a lot of time left, but still maybe a chance at a score. It's going to be taken now by the backliner, Bohemian, or midliner rather, as he encroaches up on the blue side. Time about to wind down, though. And maybe one chance at a goal. If they can get an intercept here, we'll see, but it's going to be tough. So Frenzy chasing this disc down, as well as Dylan. Dylan's had a pretty good match so far and looking to convert on one more, put on the hurt around the world, but not today. There's a good grab in the steal and the clear out the way, going to the midfield now and into the other zone. So Lunar taking it home in round 1. So going at 9 points here on the board. We'll get the scores for you in a second. Then also got to go make sure, can ping these teams again, just let them know that they do, or they are going to want to reset the time because of the rematch that occurred earlier, the technical restart. So just make sure all that's set and ready. And oh, they got it for me right before I press enter at that. So that works. That works. And now it looks like that extra player there for the Hive may have gone into spec, which again, I'll have to tag them. All right, sorry about that. Just trying to communicate with the teams here, because again, so this is the reasoning for this is to prevent ghosting and things like that. So sorry, I can't really hold a conversation with Twitch chat and type at the same time. But main thing is here, cannot have more than the 4 rostered players or sub on a team in the server at any given time, including in spectator, because of ghosting issues and things like that, feeding live comms and what have you. So I know the Hive, I think, had an extra player there intending to switch out. The important thing is if you do want to switch out players, you do have to drop one first. That's the important factor. So not a worry. It happens. I know both these teams are a bit newer to the league, only been playing a couple weeks. I think this is the first week actually for the Hive. I think week 2 or 3 for Lunar. So yeah, it's expected. You know, we had a lot of that in the first week or two as well of VRML Season 2, just because, again, we had, what was it, 100 and something new teams. I mean, we ended 40, yeah, so just 4 times more, because we ended Season 1 with about 42 teams active in any given week, and now we're dealing with 172, I think, is the last count I got, something along those lines. So, you know, it's going to happen, and even just compared to week 1, we started out week 1 with just under 140 teams, I believe, and now about halfway through the season, we still got another 30 teams along the way. So, a lot of new faces, and that's all thanks, of course, to, well, largely thanks at least, to Oculus Quest and Echo VR coming out, an open beta for that, of course, free to play, free to download and join, and what have you. So, you know, if you like what you see, which I'm sure you guys do since you're here on the stream. But for those who may be newer to the scene or just here supporting their friends and or family, which I know is another cool part about these streams, is that we can have a lot of the familiar faces tune in when these teams get streamed, especially for the first time. Not an uncommon thing. So check out Echo VR. It's free both on the store for PC VR as well as for Quest. So you got your options for sure. But that said, we got ourselves a round 2 about to start now. And like I said, no harm, no foul. Mostly. But round 2 is about to begin. So here we go. We got the clock set correctly. We've got the Hive on the orange team here, Lunar on blue, and round 2. Let's do it. Had to force that one. All right, so over to the midfield. The neutral joust first taken here. Looks like has a couple players piling on. Trying to grab it is Stepdad, but a step too slow on that one, unfortunately, but Lunar's still looking to maintain control, perhaps as it floats to their side. Lunar doing a good job in that first round overall to just take control and keep control, sticking on this side of the floor. The Hive trying to approach the bubble here and try to utilize a little bit of caution, but it's going to be tough thanks to the defense from Krim. Krim with some grim brawls as they continue to go on this kind of free-for-all. That's what happens when these piles unfold. You never really know who's going to come away with it. That said, the monkey definitely knew. That funky monkey diving out at the disc, getting a clear. There's Ryan and Derek. Oh no, we got 2 at once. That's probably illegal as well. But nonetheless, it's going to roll all the way towards the goal. Now, had it not been for the monkey in the way, well, that might have been a nice 3, potentially. I could be wrong. My angle wasn't the best. Maybe it was. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. You'd think it's my job to. Nonetheless, over here into the bottom of the floor, going to be taken out by, back and forth, both players. Krim maybe coming away with that, with Ryan and Derek losing control. Not sure which do I call. Maybe I'll just go in between and call him and. Because otherwise, am I making play calls for Ryan or Derek? Can't possibly be both. Oh, either or. Ryan and Derek, they both get a clear. 4 hands getting that takeaway as they go for the play. Now a nice short-range boost there from Trillist. But over here, trying to get the disc back, it's Bohemian Buff. Trying to make some music for the team. A Bohemian Rhapsody, in fact, as Stepdad 2020. Right through the mid lane clear. Krim going back at them, but it's going to bounce to and fro, not into the goal, not quite yet, but the Hive here, Bohemian Buff with a disc once again, trying to stay alive. A few minutes expired here in the second round, and neither team able to really come away with it, so over into the midfield now as some more punches unfold, you can see there. Awful and brutal is Bohemian Buff. Maybe that's why he's buff. He works out, looking for those fights. Either or. Crimson, they're looking for some goals. You can see Chris just taking a look behind, constantly checking to make sure that they have some time, and the time running out as it does go down to Dylan. So Dylan may be looking for that barrier pass. A nice pass, but a good save. Ryan and Derek. Two of the best goalkeepers I've ever seen, no doubt, but I still don't know. Ryan and Derek. You know, there's a couple of Mr. Mrs. Tejada comes to mind, seeing them in the chat a little earlier on. So it actually wouldn't be the only dual account in Echo Arena. But nonetheless, over into the wedge. Going to be taken out here. Eventually by the nice boost that was Chris and Stepdad, or Krim, sorry, and Stepdad. See, I'm all caught up in the human names now. Called him Chris instead of Krim. So I'm going to try and trim it down and go back here into the orange side of the floor where will be had by Dylan. Now Dylan being stunned out by a Trillis. What a villain. Going over here, though, as it spills into the orange zone right into the reach of Chris. Now Chris going to sling it away before the defense approach and stuns him out. At this point in time, this is where you like to see some spacing. So like right here, Stepdad doing a good job to kind of anchor down in a given area, maybe offering options to his teammates to pass to. So even though the pass is a little bit strong, that's definitely the right moves you like to see from Lunar and from any team getting integrated into VRML for the first time. Because again, both these teams coming in pretty new to the game, and you know, a pleasure to always watch and, you know, follow, especially as we get more and more streams from these teams. Follow that progression as we've seen all the time throughout the last 8-9 months now of VRML and Echo Arena. A lot of these teams really just building strength from week to week, month to month. But over here, the Hive still trying to muster up something, keep themselves alive as it goes over to the wedge once again. As really getting stuck here on this end an awful lot of the time. And Krim going to try and find, but no, another save out and snuff out from Ryan and Derek. Whichever one of you it was, great job on that. But Bohemian Buff taking it away. So maybe in the opportune moment for them to make a goal here and get on the board. A good, careful passing play. But it's going to be bothered there heavily by the aggression from Lunar on that defensive end. There's more aggression yet. And poker champ Dylan right through the midfield. So as Krim takes that away and hands it off actually to Stepdad, right back to him, maybe almost a self-pass. So trying to grab that disc and avoid Trillis yet again on the brawl. Has been just dishing those all day long, all match long, as Bohemian Buff gets the grab and right back to DeMonkey again. Now over here to DeMonkey, taking it out and going for that passover, very nicely delivered, and the nice conversion again. I was about to go with a nice baby reference again, but I can't do that 2 nights in a row, can I? Just wouldn't be right. John Tejada saying, my wife plays other games, Palidore, not this one. This game is all you. I will probably remember that. Or maybe I'll still say it anyway, just for fun. Off the head, though, here, going to be taken out by Krim. So, Krim, the breakaway, makes the play. 3 points on the way, 5 points for Lunar. And now pulling head by a nice buffer. But yeah, as Chad pointed out as well, I mean, again, newer teams to the league are always happy to stream them. We've streamed as those who pay attention to the Discord for all the teams who were here in week 1 of season 2. Those 130-some teams remaining. Weave, hold on, talk about weave right through the basket. It's Krim again. Krim again. That's almost criminal because it was a steal. You see how it works? Anyway. What was I saying? Among the teams remaining, 130 teams remaining from week 1, they've all been streamed as of this week now. We've gotten all of them casted at least once, many teams multiple times. And that's, like I said, something we're definitely prideful of. You know, just the ability to do that as a shot goes through. Feeling hot now as Lunar. But yeah, it's a nice change of pace, you know, from the way it used to be, you know, in Echo VR, when things were just a lot more kind of shut out and only a few streams here and there, you know, in prior leagues and whatnot. And the fact that we get to come in here, have this, these great teams with great production, great casters, and super entertaining matches. It's just it's a matter of Pride, like I said, and talk about Pride. Ryan and Derek definitely should be happy with their defensive effort there on the goals. But love to see all these new ones coming in. And like I said, on the whole, everyone really just improving at a really rapid pace compared to the vast majority of PC players back in 2017-18. And, you know, part of that because I guess we were busy developing the meta, as right now it goes to Ryan again for another clear. But really, now the meta is just being taken to new levels, and we see so many teams as that one actually sails fairly close. Now, had it not been for that nest, that might have been dangerous. But over here, still maybe an opportunity. There's Ryan. There's Derek. And couldn't convert it, but making him hurt. It's Trillis. Since 87, bringing it right back within 6. And the Hive get their score on the board. After that nice series of defensive plays there on the other end from Ryan and Derek. Schlart saying, Schlart team, meta is just scoring. Yeah, Schlart, well, no, I thought Schlart team's meta was Schlart. That's it. But over here, taken by Dylan now again, trying to work it down. Swing through, but nice grab again. Look at that defense being had. DeMonkey, though, getting it back yet again, being an absolute villain. But look, it's Ryan and Derek again spilling on the defensive end. Everything is just being fluttered right out of there. Shut out, but now shut down. DeMonkey goes around. So on that vine, they're swinging through with a 10-2 lead for Lunar, and 1 minute less than that, in fact, remaining in round 2. John saying, no, Palidore, we don't see how that works. Well, what works? The pun? I forgot what it was now, so. But there was wordplay in there, so it worked. Whatever it was, it worked. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Ryan and Derek, though, they're trying to get themselves one more goal. It's going to be impossible here for that comeback, but it still will be a chance maybe for one more score if I can get back on this end of the floor. But inverting there on the top of the ceiling as opposed to the bottom of the ceiling, because that's not a thing. Or is it? That'd be like me saying on the top of the floor. It just sounds wrong. But you know what? I ain't wrong. Language is supposed to be my thing. As we go here into the slap clear. And back into the bubble, and right on out of there. So 10-2 in this second and final round. Will convert and complete the sweep. And, you know, good game by Lunar. First stream again for both of these teams for the Hive. Showed some great defensive plays. Cannot discount them for that because they were getting some nice snags and steals and stuns inside that goal area. But it's just a matter of the offense not really being able to get too much going on the other end, obviously. You know, being held there to 2 points, but you know, I always say it about a lot of these, I shouldn't say a lot, but several of these teams that we've seen over the course of months that are new to the game. Defense is, generally speaking, a much more difficult thing to learn. So I always say for teams that come out new to the game and they show some good defense, you've already won half the battle, if not more, in that sense, because it's such a difficult thing to manage and it's so extremely team dependent. I mean, obviously, when you're newer to the game, you can get away with a lot of kind of individual plays in on offense. But when it comes to defense, if you don't have everyone working like a well-oiled machine, it's just very, very difficult to get much headway in that sense. So the Hive showing some excellent defense, and I think the offense will come later, just a matter of the chemistry, as it is for games and for teams and whatnot. But in the meantime, taking a look at Lunar. They were looking good. What can you say? They had some good passing plays. They showed some nice speed there just to, recollect the disc over and over and just really be persistent about it, making sure that they took advantage of their multiple opportunities, and they did. Now, the stats a little bit messy, as you can see, as we did have a couple players phasing in and out of the server in between rounds and timeouts. So, hence why you're looking at some extra stats on the board, but highlights there. I mean, take a look at Krim, the 8 points. That is something to behold, indeed. And the 3 steals as well as the 18 stuns. They had Poker Champ Dylan with 4 points, 3 assists, a steal, 4 stuns. Had Stepdad with a save and 5 stuns. Frenzy, 5 points, 1 assist, 1 save, 2 steals, 15 stuns. And then, DeMonkey with 2 points, 1 assist, and 1 stun. Then we also had the 6 points there, 5 saves, Ryan and Derek, and they were some really nice ones, along with the 1 assist. steal and 2 stuns. Trillis since 87 had some nice mobility, good midfield positioning and defense. 2 points, 5 steals, 29 stuns. And Durka with 9 stuns. You have Bohemian Buff with 3 saves and 16 stuns. And Majesty, True Majesty, with a couple saves just as well. And those are your very cohesive 10-player stats. Now, with that said, we've got ourselves some more matches coming along, well, right about now. Scheduled to start essentially this minute, so I guess I shouldn't keep talking now, should I? But yes, Gunner's saying, well, I'm going, GG, boys. Very good game. Dakin in the chat saying, Trillis looking for some heads. Yeah, no chill for Trill, but it was definitely a player looking out for the kill. Anyways, I'm going to go to the intermission now, so I'll be right back. Never mind, you're back. Well, never mind, I'm back too. How about that? We both came back at the same time. So, that said, our match is already ready to start here next with Redshift versus Ignite. It's going to be a good match. I do imagine between these two very high-tier teams, both sitting in the Master Division very nicely. So, looking forward to that. The teams have been pinged, and I'm back here in the casting booth doing the commentary and cameras for you guys. See Scooby Doobert, nice name, going for Ignite, cheering him on. See Grumpiest Broom, cheering on Redshift. So a little bit of diverse opinions there on who to cheer for. You know, I like both these teams. I think it's gonna be an entertaining game. And holy smokes, I'm just realizing Andy W's in the game. Suddenly, casting got disgusting. So Andy W, the substitute, he'll trouble you, as you might have seen in the pre-show scenes with that player card. All right. Well, unless did he join like in the last hour? Or was that a thing? I mean, let me go check. I want to make sure it's not just a sub situation. That's kind of interesting. Okay, doesn't look like it. So, all right, barring any of that, interesting addition. Of course, we got Jiggy over here on the team, as well as Supreme and Bliss, who apparently is/was C. Jason, changing the name completely and confusing old Palidore last week. But unless I'm mistaken, someone please correct me. That is C. Jason, now known as Bliss. Andy. Now, the thing is, okay, look, Andy's got the underscore instead of the dash, so close, but not quite a match. Anyway, over for Ignite side, of course, we got ourselves Far, Franz Duel, and Wolf 23. And it's always great to see Ignite and fun to cast their matches on the daily, on the weekly, I suppose. But a long-time team, also contributing to the stream, helping out with some of our stat and team info overlays, as well as helping manage out Echopedia. There's a lot of great things from Ignite. I'm expecting, appropriate to the names, perhaps a very lit match here. Shout out to Choco. But over here, it's a Jiggy with a disc scan. They're going to Bliss. Bliss is reset. Grammar is my thing. Andy here from the station, though, not stationary. And right there, a little bit scary as the situation does get hairy, and it's going to be a sling, but look at the grab by far, going to the mid lane, but taken by Andy. And now Andy up to the cloud, and Jiggy with the disc. Going to move it up here to the backboard, but intercepted there by Wolf on the nice defensive cutout. That gets sent out into the opposite end of the floor there, the orange zone, as the defense does try to take place if possible, and it will be Bliss with that disc, and just a narrow miss. But look at the regrabs here, the redirects, look at that. Almost a full 180 done by that Supreme and Jiggy stack, so that was nice. Testament to the team play, the chemistry, and just the good rhythm that you do need to accomplish maneuvers like that on the stacks. Now, with that said, that's going to... Pally has the best grammar. Sorry, I saw someone complimenting grammar. I just had to pause. But over here, no pauses, as that one is almost made on the play. Now a bounce again is going to just get right up the bubble. That was very dangerously close. Now that would have been terrible had that initial shot gone in, and I was just talking about grammar. I would have fired myself. But here trying to fire off for some points, still scoreless, and still yet as it goes into the wedge. So retaining it is Jiggy. Now Jiggy being stunned out of Wolf 23, trying to hunt for the goals and looking for a reset instead. So Franz too far. Now far right outside the outreached arms. You can see the defense approaching. Don't know what that was. Don't ask. And Franz will take the disc back as it goes to the wedge. A lot of stuns. 1,000,001. And as it does go into the backboard area, be taken by Duel, trying to send it right back. And a lot of close range passing will finally buy them the goal. Franz off of some very tight passes from Ignite. Now the difficulty of some of those catches was pretty high. Those were coming off with some heat. So that said, heat seeking was Ignite, and they've got themselves its first 2 points of this game. Hi, Sputnik. Cheering on the boys. Which is to say, Sputnik, of course, the rostered member, manager, coach of Redshift. Not just the team, but also the stream. So go check that out. There you go, Sput. Got you unplugged there. But yeah, no, it is super cool. Got those 2D and 3D echo streams. If you don't know what I mean, you guys should go check it out. Of course, after this cast, after these matches are over. But nonetheless, Bliss here, trying to roll on over to Jiggy, and Jiggy fits it into the corner there, right in the goal. And it's a tied-up game. First round still. Doing well for themselves. An entertaining match so far, 3 minutes in. Scooby-Doobert saying on fire. Who, me? Now, these teams, of course, we've seen, again, these teams over the weeks, master tier for a reason, and, you know, for Ignite, again, well seasoned. Always have to shout them out, but like I said, it's pleasant because there's only so many teams as that shot just goes off the backboard and into the goal. 5-2 on an anchor shot from, am I mistaken? Let me just make sure. An anchor shot off the teammate. I'm not sure I've seen that ever from 3 anyways. So you see it from 2-point zone plenty, of course the Joker train and what have you. I'm not sure I've seen an anchored 3 from a teammate though, on your teammate. That's very interesting on that play. Nonetheless, this is what I was saying. These teams, they know what they're doing. They are some powerhouses here for Ignite and for Redshift. And no doubt, with Andy W in the mix for this match, that is even some more firepower to disgusting levels. Now trying to discuss the right passing play, going for the behind the backboard, but snagged out and sent out by Bliss, a.k.a. CJ. But Bliss nonetheless, and remember just a few weeks ago as well, as hold on, a shot just being made, or taken, but not made. Remember, it was C. Jason playing against Synapse, so well, Andy's team at the time there. It was C. Jason / Blitz who was doing some great defensive work with some dives and things like that. So really nothing too unusual there, if you know the personnel. Wolf 23 on that wedge, going to evade through Supreme, going up high here as it gets taken and passed over to Duel. And now right back to Jiggy. Do you like that little camera transition, by the way? I'm trying to work on it. See, I've seen what Swift is doing now with some of his camera work, and now it's like, man, now I have to step up my game. Same with subtlety. Their cameras have gotten so good. It's like I gotta start doing better. So here it goes, up high, to the sky, to the nest, and then out again. 5 points here, favoring the orange folk. in Redshift. Orange Shift, either or. Trying to make a play into the goal. Again, the dozens of punches practically is a nice dunk in. Happens practically from Wolf23. And far. The nice alley. So, Sputnik, do let me know. Why? Because I haven't been able to ask. Why Bliss? Like, see, some people change their names. They shorten it. They add a dash. That's fine. It's understandable. If he just changed his name to CJ Dash or Jason Dash, it would have been cool. But Bliss, that's just a recipe for confusion for me. Either or, though. I mean, especially after saying C. Jason's name how many times over the last year or two, you know? But either or, definitely a supremely talented player, as is, of course, Supreme, formerly known as Supreme Buns. But again, the name change is the real thing here in VRML. Nonetheless, over there to Franz and back out to Wolf. You can see the passing play, trying to maybe take a lead here if they can. Now there is a cross attempt perhaps, but cut off nicely by Supreme. So taking no naps without any laps as they run and actually get the goal. So that's a 1-point lead here of Bliss. Jason not getting the save. Almost, but not quite. Just off the body. Unfortunate. But 3 minutes left, and Ignite is going to be very, very happy to see that score in their favor, as favoring this QB play as going to be Bliss over to the side. Now Jiggy going to pass it off to Andy. Andy, the nice little handoff, but Supreme now getting stunned out as Franz takes that away. There's an immediate stack, but taken right back in the midfield. There's a tap out and trying to just collect their thoughts a bit, but obviously a lot of aggression makes it tough to really spend too much time. But a one-on-one, a shot fake and right on under. Andy doing what Andy does, which is to say, he gets buckets by the bucket. Princess AG asking who's Bliss? CJ, sir. Scooby Doobert. We've got a great casting crewbert. But I appreciate the compliment. Of course, again, the casters for VRML. Love them. You know, we love Echo Arena. We love VRML. That's why we cast so much. I'm not the only one who's casted a ton this season. Sputnik in there, been one of them. Got, of course, Swift and Sir Dimwee. You know, so much for subtlety on cams and stuff. A lot of great participants here as they try to get a pass back here to Franz. Now, the time running down is going to be an important possession for both teams. They really need to work something in, and Franz does it again. That's Wolf, 23, the delivery, and it's right back up for Ignite. And this round, this first round, been quite close, quite exciting. I know I checked the connoisseurs just before this match started briefly. I didn't have a lot of time to get things together. Now, Redshift was favored. But that said, and this was pointed out during the venues event earlier as well, you know, sometimes the snowball effect, people see one team getting votes. Not that Redshift isn't talented, don't get me wrong, but just more so. You see a lot of these lopsided votes, and it's not uncommon to see these connoisseurs get upset. So really, whereas it was 30-some to like single digits in favor of Redshift, I feel like these teams are actually pretty evenly matched. Now that said, with the snatch, it is Redshift, it's Andy W. shifting into high gear, and they're in the clear for maybe a win if they can hold on for one more minute. But this is what I mean. I expect this to maintain for a full 2 or 3 rounds. Now, I could be eating my words soon, but looking at this match without the connoisseurs, I would have expected this to go to a 3rd round perhaps, or at least be very, very close on whatever the results were. So that's why I was just kind of making a note there. It was a little surprising to me. A little surprising. But nonetheless, trying to find themselves one more goal, not being punished off that initial missed joust, but Ignite does need to get this disc back mighty quickly. 20 seconds left, and any score here will be just damaging and conclusive for this round as the clear goes through. So now if Ignite can get their stacks through, there it is. It's going to be taken out, slapped out, and into the top of the ceiling, but Bliss is there for the rebound. Now it's sending it clear into the opposite zone. No time remaining, and it looks like as the round does come to a close, it will be the victory for Redshift in round 1. But as I said, close as anything. Close as anything. So going to the score screen here, which again, courtesy to Ignite for helping out with these overlays, for that matter, providing us these stats that we can get a read on, as well as the rosters and things like that. Love me some Ignite. Love me some Redshift too, though. Continuing to show as a newer team, newer rostered team, that is to say. Obviously super experienced players. You know, they're here to make their mark. I mentioned this in the last stream when we were seeing all those newer teams in Lunar and the Hive playing. How it's really fun watching the progression of players from when they first start, whether in Echo or just the league in general. It's a fun progression getting to witness them kind of go up the ranks, not as teams, as individuals. You know, this applies for some of these players here in Redshift. You know, familiar with all of them to some degree, obviously, but just in the grand scheme of things, you know, compared to some other of the master tier players in VRML, a lot of these guys have not been, you know, at that master division before. They've not been on these top teams before, and yet with Redshift, they have, you know, a great opportunity here with a great team, you know, to make themselves known and feared. You know, kind of similar to how Ignite has just been so well known, perhaps one of the most well known teams. Shout out to their merch, by the way, with their 6 shirts. But I'm just saying, you know, Ignite has made their name known, and it's fun to watch teams like Redshift progress that way and start making their names known. Maybe get some Redshift merch quite soon. Who knows? We're right here trying to lurch for the goal, but no, it's far, having it stolen out by Bliss. So whether in the goal directly or just in the bubble area, gonna offer them some trouble, but no, it's off. It's gonna be taken the second attempt, not missed whatsoever. It's Jiggy. Looking clever. Too much, chat? Let me know. I'm going to drink some of my non-sponsored carbonated beverage of choice here as my mouth is getting mighty dry. Too much talking. In any case, 9-12 left in the second round, so which is to say, only 1 minute expired just about. First few points, though, I mean, basically starting where they left off there for Redshift, coming in with another delivery, and oh no, another open goal. 6 points. Remember what I said about that caster's curse coming back to bite me? I hope it does not. Maybe I just undid the jinx by saying that just now. I don't know. Whatever the case, though. See, Guacamole saying stuff in the chat. As right now, the stuff in the goal from Supreme Buns. Not Buns. See what I mean? Old habits die hard. It happens, okay? I'm actually super surprised I haven't managed to make more mistakes than I have this season. For instance, I think I've only called Phantom's Backlash like once this season so far. And I haven't called Synapse Infinite yet. But there's a lot of times I'm very close, believe me. Now, in any case, over here, it's going to be taken by Andy W, and they're going for that tunnel pass, getting it right out of there. Jiggy off into that corner pocket. It's a good boost coming in from Wolf with some speed there behind it, and trying to buckle down and send it around to Franz. Now, Franz needs to send the immediate clear, does so. Now, there's a stacked up Ignite players kind of splitting off to try and get the goal, or get the disc back rather, and find a goal. 7:40 now on the clock, as the deep clear and the immediate boost will result in, once again, oh, almost dangerous play, but a lot of fire coming off of that clear as it goes into the midfield. And back into the orange zone, and that said, the first goal. It's Wolf, 23. And Wolf definitely got to wipe sweat off the brow for Ignite, and you got to figure, okay, there you go. There's the first one. The cap has been broken. Now we can just kind of release the breath and go back to our game plan, doing what we do. Gonna be asking how we haven't said getting jiggy with it. Yeah, I think you haven't tuned into enough Redshift streams. We've gone to that well a few times. I gotta space out sometimes. Well, just for you, I might give you one at some point. So getting it done is Bliss through the midfield there and getting the stacks together. There's Bliss, there's Andy, there's Jiggy. And Bliss up another collection, another bounce. Now it's going to have a slight chance. And Jiggy gonna slap it in for the guarantee. And that shot did indeed slap, as the kids do say. Here for Redshift, up 10-2. Coming through. And getting jiggy with it. Nah. You're welcome. See, I deliver. Man of the people. All right, so 10-2 here as Wolf takes the QB duty, sending it over, but the station will be closed by Jiggy, by Supreme. Supreme, not buns. Supreme, no stuns. But you know what? They got one. That is to say, another goal. They're up by 10 again. Sputnik saying, great jump from CJ. It's bliss. Sputnik, it's bliss. Get with it. Jiggy, that is. All right, so Wolf with a pass over to Franz. Franz right through the mid lane, going to hit off that bow tie now. Duel looking to take it over, perhaps, but just not fast enough on the approach. A good boost coming in hot from Redshift. So as Bliss rolls up the floor here, you can see the good positioning for Redshift. But that said, maybe holding on to it for a little too long. Now Franz gets the disc, but gets stunned for his efforts as well. Will be nabbed by Duel. Duel resets it to the backfield, but unfortunately nobody home. So that's going to sail directly almost into the goal, and it will be found indeed by Andy. Indeed. And 4-2 on the score sheet in round 2. Halfway through this round, still some time to go. But definitely it's those little mistakes that will cost, especially at the master level. I mean, we all know how extremely punishing that these teams are. It's so tough at this level. You know, you can do 9 out of 10 things the absolute right way, and it's that one slight mistake, maybe off by an inch on a pass or a shot, and then suddenly you're punished on the other end. The other team will score on you. It happens so often, and that's the skill level you see with these teams. That said, Andy here coming in with a spin on the dunk, kind of a windmill. Definitely living up to the reputation there of just being a ferocious scorer. Can do a little bit of everything on offense. Andy, of course, I tend to give him a lot of credit as being one of the more crafty, creative, and just explosive dunkers in the league, but not to say that he's only a dunker. Definitely not the case. But definitely put some extra stees anytime he's within a couple feet of that goal. So it's always a fun watch. You kind of hold your breath and just wait to see what he's going to do exactly when he approaches. That said, they're approaching here for Ignite. It's Franz looking for that bottom passing play to Far. Gets him a nice goal. There we go. And that was nothing blissful about that reaction from CJ, from Bliss. So that shot does go through from Far. I mean, it was essentially a one-on-one goal, just about. I mean, had to rush it a little bit because the defense was getting there, but for the most part, had some good time to at least line it up. Bliss not happy about it, but you know what? They still got the good lead, so can't let it bother him too much. That said, right off the backboard and just free to walk it in. It's Far yet again. That's 2 in a row on the scoreboard coming in from Far. So 10-point game, 3 minutes and 11 seconds left. Will be tough, but as we always say, not impossible with this amount of time and these kinds of teams. So let's see. If another turnover happens here, that's where it starts getting really dangerous. And very fortunate there, avoiding was Andy on that approaching player. So with that stack, going to overshoot it. But look, the third player, Bliss, the dink. And it's 18-6. All right, so approaching these final 2.5 minutes and triple on the score sheet here, favoring the side of Redshift over Ignite. Ignite, some good redirects, but just, you know, they haven't been able to get their offense working the way that you normally expect, it seems. Really heavily bothered. You know what? I noticed this also last time I casted Redshift, talking about that Synapse game, and there was a, what was the other one they played? It was a different day. Either way, the thing you notice about Redshift is they can play it patient, but they also get aggressive sometimes, especially when it does come to that defense. I talked about that dive defense inside the bubble, and it does tend to cause a lot of issues for teams to break past it, and we're kind of seeing some of that for Ignite, because every time Ignite's even gotten towards that bubble area, it seems like that disc is going anywhere but into the zone. So, I mean, here it goes again. You can see the aggression, the anchor. You already saw that anchored shot off of a teammate earlier on by Supreme, as that does flutter dangerously near the goal. And taking it back is Jiggy, and up to the awaiting hands of Andy. And Andy, oh so gently, and oh so dandy, goes through the goal for the 20th point. To be honest, I was hoping for a 360 windmill or something, but, you know, a little fire pole kind of thing was, it works, it works. Putting some touch on it. All right, so 1 minute remaining here, and Redshift in firm control for Ignites, backing it out here to Wolf. Wolf, the side swipe. Franz, another pass over to Duel, and Duel now going to be just stunned out right from behind there. And it'll be the stacks from the back line coming in from Redshift. Looks like able to get it eventually is Andy. Just a lot of good control. You can kind of see through all that mess of a defense and that loose disc, they still found the right passes. And at the moment, oh no, a steezy play by Bliss. Went for the release, the shield, the stun, and dropped it for a hot one. 22 points for Redshift here in round 2. As this round does come to a close. But yeah, just see Jason doing him dirty as it goes. One more shot attempt, unable to hit it. So that will be the round and the series there, going the way of Redshift. Very close first round. The second round kind of got away from Ignite a bit there, and the aggression continuing to unfold. I think it was Sput doing kind of the player coaching in there almost from the Twitch chat and pointing out that they're a little bit out of rhythm to start the first round. That is to say Redshift, but definitely once they found that rhythm towards the latter parts of round 1 and then going to round 2, never really let go. Hence why, yeah, I guess they got the score that it was. So maybe just one of those occasions for Ignite. I know they have another game, I believe. I don't think it's going to be streamed, but that's coming up in the next hour or so. We'll check that on you for real quick. For Ignite, still a chance here, though, to complete the game on the Sunday night here with a one-on-one record. So it's not out of the works there for them to still have some good moves, but they do need to kind of take that break and get back into it. And meanwhile, you know, for Redshift, they're going to continue on as well to just finish out this week strong and continue to impress there, you know, at the Master tier. Like I said, always happy to stream these teams just as much as the newer ones and kind of get a look at these up-and-comers. But that said, up-and-coming on the match is, let's see, 6 o'clock my time, Pacific, which is to say, about 30 minutes from now, we've got Anomaly facing off against Illuminati. So that's going to be fun to watch. And at the same time, 30 minutes from now, it'll be Ignite facing Chaos. And Chaos, maybe you've seen them on that, among other places, obviously, that new pre-show card that I put in. Chaos, a team that always provides very interesting matches that are fun to watch across the seasons. Involved in that 5 overtime game back in March, round 3, as well as numerous reverse sweeps and overtimes game winners. So, in a sense, kind of sorry that I can't stream both of those games at the same time, but both should hopefully be very entertaining. Now, that said, taking a look at those stats before we part off for the next half hour, it's Andy coming through very strongly, showing that there is no rust at all. Not that he's stopped playing, really, just, yeah, I mean, 14 points, it's consistent with the personnel, as mentioned earlier. 23 stuns, as well as 1 assist and 1 save. For Bliss, some nice synchronicity there with the 4 points, 4 assists, 4 saves. And double that up to the 8 stuns. So nice job on that end, really doing everything on the offense and defensive end. Impressive effort. Jiggy, 9 points, 3 assists, 2 saves, 19 stuns. I mean, Supreme with 5 points, 1 save, 1 steal, 22 stuns. So everyone putting forth stats across multiple categories there. For Ignite, hey look, more synchronicity. 4 points apiece for Far, Franz, and Wolf. As well as 3 assists for Wolf, 3 saves for Wolf, 1 steal, 13 stuns. Franz with 1 assist, 27 stuns and a steal. Far with an assist and 21 stuns. And then Duel with 27 duels. Indeed, tied for the game high in brawls. Alright, so with that said, Okay, yeah, just making sure. Oh, so the next match will be in half an hour from now. I'm gonna end this stream, and then we'll be back with the pre-stream scenes in another 20 minutes-ish. So be on the lookout for that as we continue our night here and finish out Week 5 of VRML. Until then, thanks for joining in the chat there. You've been mighty active across these matches so far. Always appreciate you. Until then, I'm gonna go get some snacks, some more non-sponsored carbonated beverages, and yeah, I'll be back real soon. So be happy, healthy, and safe, and be good to each other, and catch you in half an hour. Also, to prevent myself from being the worst caster ever, Dirt Does Gaming subscribed with Twitch Prime 9 minutes ago. I almost missed it. You should, if I could, I would refund you just for my misplay on calling that out. Shame on me, but thanks to you in the clutch. See you again soon.